Ladies and gentlemen, the official Star 2 Worlds 2024 is finally here. I get to retire this hat soon, possibly. Riot just let me know that I am going to be getting one of the Worlds Unlocked boxes. So when that comes, I will have a full unboxing for you to show you what it looks like. I'm assuming they might still be available on the website. I'm not 100% certain. Now, the World's Orchestral Theme might not seem like a big deal to some people. It's ultimately kind of the same song each and every year. But for me, yeah. I use it a lot, especially on TikTok. So, funnily enough, the World's 2021 theme, which I tend to use more than most because I just like how it sounds. If you look at the videos, there's 147 videos, and it is pretty much all my face on TikTok for a while. Bro, I use these sounds more than most. So, like, when it comes to TikTok, you always need to have some sort of, like, instrumental in the background, and these themes are perfect for it. So, yes, I am listening to this theme every day pretty much during Worlds, in addition to the broadcast. Like, even beyond that, like, it's always around. So, like, I like it as is already, but I'm just exposed to it way more than most people. So I'm curious to see how Worlds 2024 goes, because this is the first time that Worlds has been in Europe, not including the Reykjavik times where they did it in like the secluded studio. That was like 2021 itself. And honestly, 2019's theme was probably my favorite of the crew. 2021 a little bit more dubstep, but there was something about like the elegance of how they did like the white theme, like the white picture, and like every stop of Worlds was like a different thing there. They're kind of leaning into that a little bit more this year, but with a little bit more like animated style. And we know that Finals is also going to be at the O2 Arena in London. Linkin Park possibly doing the World song. We'll find that out in about a week and a half. But also importantly, Arcane dropping on the same day as Worlds Finals. So as much as like Worlds this year is like about the esport and about the hype of everything, I'm just warning everybody now, Arcane is going to be very much a big portion of all this. So without further ado, let's get to reacting to this. I am excited. Oh, this is a much different start than what they typically go with. Viego is going to be the new champion, or the championship skin this year. It almost sounds Disney-like, actually. Whoa. Locks that comes with the box. They did bring it back to the 2019 style. It's a full choir singing it instead of instruments. Halfway point. So one of the things that they've done with this one relative to some of the others is they kind of took like the bass out from it. Like there's really not much bass to this. It is pure like timpani. It is pure orchestra. Whereas like the last few years, they have added some underlying like 808 sometimes to it, and added a little bit more of like a drop and a little bit more dubstep. This feels very much like you would hear this in a concert hall. You would hear this performed, you know, next to the Carmina Burana. And I freaking like it so far. I will say with the video, when you're comparing it to 2019, because I think like 2019 is like going to be one of the golden standards for Worlds. Back then, it was very much about like, if you remember the painting, which here I can show it on screen briefly. You can't do this every year, obviously, given that it would like overplay the history of things. But it very much was about like the Summoner's Cup, the locations of where it was going to be at, including Paris, Germany. I think we were in Spain for parts of it. I think that might be what that is. I'm not 100% certain. But then you had like moments around LoL esports. So it was very much like focused on the esport and not about selling skins. Whereas this year, I mean, Riot, we know that they were going to go off the deep end with it, and they kind of have been, but like 130 is the point I need to get to. This is the Viego skin that you can buy in game. This is the statue that comes with like the World's Unlocked box. And while it's cool that they're doing the different locations, like this we know is, I think, Germany, where the group or where Swiss and playing stage is going to be held. This is obviously Paris. Lux makes sense with Paris, where semifinals and quarterfinals are going to be held. And then the O2 Arena in London. You've got the Ferris wheel, you've got Big Ben, and the Zeri skin that is going to be coming out at the same time as Worlds. It does very much feel like they are pushing skins on us a lot harder than they have in Worlds past. And it is like, if esports prior to this was very much about like being the standalone esport, this is very much like acknowledging the shift of like, yes, esports is going to be marketing for skins. And here's the thing, we better be getting a cut of these skins, because if you're using esports to advertise this and push it to us, we should be getting a cut of that. But I digress. Back to the music. The timpani and strings are carrying this song. Holy. Adding a little bit of bass there. It's coming in. The thing that I love about this version is it feels like it's telling a lot more of a story than prior years have. You have the ebb and the flow always, but like this, you could put this straight into Disney right now. That is trippy. Rise, the drop and fall for the second chorus, and rising up again. Oh, it never officially climaxed. Okay. I actually like that. I like that they kind of built towards it and they kept the suspense. I was expecting another drop at the end there, but it never came. No, they just left that initial first round to be it. Okay. Feels like a story being told throughout this theme. Yeah, that is the thing. When if you've never played an instrument, I could get why like this doesn't like make sense to a certain extent. But I played trombone growing up and all throughout high school. Just didn't want to deal with it in college, but I sang all throughout college. We actually toured Europe and sang throughout various cathedrals, including the Cologne Cathedral. We were at La Madeleine. We were where else? What was it? St. Michael's in Belgium. I think I'm forgetting all the Cologne Cathedral was obviously the big one. Good orchestral themes and good orchestra pieces that have choirs are very much telling stories throughout. Like all songs are kind of telling a story, but like in pop music and like with the world song, it's more like it's a consistent theme throughout. But like with orchestra pieces, there's ebbs and flows all throughout. Like it is telling a full picture, not just one side of things, like a full story with the entire song. And it's easier to make it more playful because you have so many more instruments at your disposal. You heard the drums take over at points, you heard the choir take over at points, you heard the strings kind of have their moment, especially in like the second half of that whenever things kind of fell. And to use last year's World Song as an example, you know, whenever Deft gets blown up by Showmaker in 2021, like you have that moment where there is this drop off, but then you start building back up again and you incorporate different instruments and different elements into it. And I love it. Like this, honestly, is probably going to be one of the best instrumentals that we could have asked for in terms of like storytelling that they can do with it. And I mean, the story, I'm just thinking now of like the videos that I can make with this as the background, and like you can use different sections of the song and you're telling different stories. You can tell like the fall off moments and then how it slowly starts building up. And then you can also tell the peak highs with like the first half of it. Like, I don't know what else you say other than this is an amazing version of this song. Absolutely amazing. And we are officially kicking off Worlds. Now, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, ooh, God. Now, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, be sure to do so. You will have consistent Worlds coverage throughout. You'll have a video every single day after 100 Thieves plays. You will have an episode of The Pit where I cover everything LCS after each individual stage, after play-ins, after the halfway point of Swiss, after the final portion of Swiss. You name it, I will be there. We got the World Song next week. I've got a ton of coverage coming out. It should be fun. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next video. Let's go 100 Thieves, let's go LCS, and it's freaking Worlds time, baby. Come on.